So there's still a bunch of people that haven't shown up yet, so I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll just give them another minute or so. How's everybody doing? Everybody get milestone one in? Oh, I did notice this. I have to show you. 28 views. Yes, people are finally watching the videos. 28 views. Perfect. No thumbs up though. What's up with that? Yeah, all kidding aside, you guys, how are you finding the videos? Is the pace good? Is it clear to understand? Yep. Anna, did you say yep?
Yeah, I said yeah.
Okay. Um, any feedback? I kind of crank these videos out sometimes pretty quickly. So any feedback on those things, I do appreciate it. You just, I can go and make some changes, and I'm making new videos at times, and so I do like to hear feedback on it. And just see if does anybody know if these people are not coming? Chase, Lucia, Michelle, you here? Yeah, Michelle's here. Nellie? Thought I saw Nellie. Ah,
You didn't say anything to me yesterday about not being out of town.
yeah. Was there another meeting or something? There's a bunch of people that are not here or just showing up. Were you guys all together somewhere at a meeting? A Dolly thing or something? No? Okay. Claire, anybody hear from Claire? Is she coming? It's two. I don't want to wait too much longer. We have a lot to do, but Claire's okay. So just yeah, so I noticed that 28 people watched the video. That was a great thing. I'm glad to hear it. I do like to hear feedback on how those videos are and if they're helpful or not. Um, okay. Zoom, my Discord's not working down here for some reason. Okay. So I noticed from the video assignments, there's for when you do the videos, you also want to just I don't expect a whole lot. Just show me that you've done it, that you've been followed along with them, and there's only 4 students look like that they did that. Um, Mimo did both the animation and the dev. These are great. Do you mind me showing your stuff? Perfect. That's all. It's great. It's perfect, right? This is how I know that you're keeping up and that you're doing what you need to do. I'd like everybody to do that. Especially, do the animation one, especially before the beginning of next week. Okay. So milestone one. Looks like most people did this. Yeah, we're getting close to that. So the main thing about this is I wanted to make sure that everybody got the project started. Right. And so here's how it's going to go. Over the weekend, myself and the TAs will review these. If we see any problems or your scope is too big or there's some issues that are going on, we will reach out on Discord and give you some feedback. If you don't hear from us, it means we feel like you're on track. Just keep going, okay? Does anybody want to share anything? Nelly, how'd yours come out? She made a face. Anybody want to? I want to show one song. How about yours? Yeah, yeah. Let's. All right. Let's just look. So good. He did. You know, he has a document and he has a video. That's what I asked for. Yep. That's a good place to start. That's good. So again, that's you know, I talk about gray boxing and all that and how to do that. And that's the way you typically do it. But if in a situation like this where you're grabbing a lot of assets from something, it's okay to start with those assets, you know, create your scene, you get your player character and you start doing, that's not a bad place to start too. Especially for a solo project. If you're working in a team project, you really have to, this process here has been proven over many projects to be the best way to get it done with the minimum amount of pain. Okay. So, all right. So if, again, I just repeat, because some people are just showing up. If we will review your milestone 1, and if you don't hear from us, it means we think you're on track. Just keep going. You're doing a good job. The main point of milestone 1 in this project, in your other projects, you'll get a lot more feedback in class for your other milestones. But for this one, I just want to make sure you started it and got it going and that you're moving and that your scope isn't too big. And so we're going to look at your scope. We'll read these, myself and the TAs, and we'll give you feedback over the weekend. If you don't hear anything, it means you're on track. Don't worry about it. Keep pushing. Okay. And then video assignments, I do expect people to show us what you've done so far. So I'm just repeating that for the people that showed up late. So someone's going to have to tell Lucia that. Okay. Any questions for anybody? Anybody have anything? It's pretty clear. So we're right here. Oh, I didn't post the video from yesterday. I need to post the video from, let me make a note of that. Okay. And other than that, we have the milestone 1, and you're gonna have the sprint is due tomorrow. I'm gonna give you a little longer time if you want. I hope we're gonna have some time to work on it today, but I'm gonna give you how long time do you need? 6 p.m.?
Midnight.
Midnight?
Fine, 10 p.m.
All right, 10 p.m. That way you get some sleep. Yeah. That's a great question. I should have been more careful about that. The shortest video you can create that shows all the features of what you did is good. Don't think short is, don't try to pad it or make it too long. Short is good because we're reviewing all these things. We don't, you know, it's a lot of times I'll have someone going like for, you know, a long time. Just get to the, you know, get to the stuff, show your thing. I mean, and then craft it for yourself. Make it a nice thing. This becomes a portfolio piece that, you know, 20 years from now, you're going to look at, and you're going to show it to your friends, say, oh my God, I can't believe I made that. You know, and so you want to showcase your work in the best light, right? So think about it when you're creating these videos, think of it like you're a cinematographer, right? And this becomes even more important when we're doing XR, because in XR, a lot of times people will have the headset on and they're just like, and if you see the video, it's like, ah! Right? You got to think about, you know, when you have the headset on, you got to move like this. And you move like, you know, you're the camera, right? And so it's the same a little bit for this, practice with this. And, you know, maybe do it a couple of times, like come up with a script. I'm going to go first, I'm going to do this, I'm going to pick this up, and then I'm going to do that. You know, come up with a script that's going to showcase this in the nicest way, but keep it as short as you can. So I put, typically they're about you can look at the ones that have been from previous years, but they're usually about, I'd say they're usually about 2 minutes. 1 to 3 is a good target, but it's never too short. It's often too long. Well, that's a good question. Thank you for asking that.
This is the last one.
That's milestone one. The sprint one has to be really short. That has to be a minute. The sprint. Yeah, doesn't it say it in there? I think it says it has to be a minute because we're going to edit them all together, right? So, what do we got? 7. We're going to have like 7 projects, right? So it'll be a 7-minute long video. If everyone does it, there's a minute long. The final piece will be 7 minutes long. So let's take a look at one of those. I think the link is in here. So you saw the one from last winter. Do you want to look at the one from a year ago? See, so this is fine. They use the starter pack. You guys didn't have sound, or is it not on? Oh no, there it is. It's just quiet. So these are perfectly fine. You don't have to overthink it. Great audio. Great use of audio. Oh, that was a nice transition, right? So try to set yours up so it'll blend nice to whatever the next one is. Remember, they start with a jump and they end with a jump. Poor me has to edit them all together. Try to get them to look good. Ooh, dramatic. Fruit Loops.
Oh, wait.
Get it? Fruit Loops. It's so clever. That's Mimo. And Jaden. Jaden's the TA. So you were the dev on this, right? Yeah. Yeah, all right. You did a great job. It's fantastic. It's a little long. Keep them short. Get the ingredients in. That was great. Nice job.
Okay, that's cool. Wow.
Clever.
Oh, that's how it ended?
Yep.
That's
Fun, right? So it's just great that, every time we do this project, it kind of captures a little bit of the spirit of the class, of the people that were in the class. It's kind of fun. So, you guys, yours will be edited together. What was I going to say? Let me just reiterate what you're doing, okay? So the thing about sprint one is you're learning how to work together, a developer and a designer. You're learning how to share assets. You're learning a lot of things about the process, right? And you're also exercising your new knowledge of Unity. And then for the Unity project, it's just a solo project, but you're really demonstrating, you know, the sort of the basics of Unity. So between the two of them, by the time these two are done, you're starting at a pretty good place. You've already worked with another person. You know a little bit about working in a team, and you know a fair amount about working in Unity. And so then we start building off on top of that. Does that make sense? Okay. All right.
Question.
Yeah.
Is it very difficult to make the animation we saw at the end? Well, if they're coming in and grabbing like that? Or is
No, it's not, because I'll show you, I'll show you how she did it. Let me see. Do I have the guy in here?
Was the animation show?
Here, I'll show you. Yeah, it was all done with the animator. Right? Because once you have this, the player armature, you have the whole body, right? So you can just animate these things in the animator, right? So so that's why the animation is kind of simple, but that's the beautiful thing. It was short and sweet. The animation is simple, just goes like this and reaches forward, like perfect, right? The thing that if you don't have a lot of animation experience, you have to know how to cheat. And actually, she's a really good animator. But if you don't have a lot of experience, you just do things that are really quick and simple animations. They work. You know, the head kind of turns and goes like that. Great, right? Don't say, all right, I'm going to animate someone, you know, getting out of a chair and picking up a coffee cup and drinking, right? That's like just it's going to take you forever. and until you practice it a few times, it's not going to look particularly great, right? So just try to pick your animations that are going to showcase it well.
Motion capture studio?
We do, yeah. Dream Studio, friend of mine runs it, and yeah, you guys can do work there. You come up with an idea for a project, we can pitch it. He's a close friend of mine, and we do a lot of work together. So I'd love to have you do that. And our students have done motion capture in this class for the final project. They've done they did mocap on a whole fighting scene. And is that this class? I don't remember. Might have been this class, or it might have been 20. We used to do 27. I don't think we do that so much anymore.
We did in 24.
24, yeah. You do mocap in 24? Oh, great. Yeah, so folks, if you're interested in this, take 24. You learn animation and you do some mocap in the Dream Studio.
I'm only here for the fall semester.
Ah, okay. Ah, no kidding. All right. Welcome. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. You ready? That was a long time to get to where we are, which is at the beginning of the class. All right. I want to show you something. This is what we're going to do.
Sure.
All right, so you can you guys see this in here? So I have the Dawn set up like this, and it has some examples that I want to show you on the way different things work. And I'll bring it in from scratch. But the first thing we did is we took in the Dawn model, and I'm going to show you how to break that up into its animations. But now it's set up with a keyboard input so that if I just type the letter N, got that focus. It plays that animation. You can see it in the animation window in here. Can you guys see this? Or is that too small?
Oh.
Is that okay? So now you can see that it's idling now, and when I hit the letter N, yeah, so just if you're ever doing this, you have to have focus in the game window or it doesn't work. So you see it shifts over to N, and you notice that no matter when I hit it, it just does it right away. and then it goes back to idle, right? And I've added a couple of new ones. I'm going to show you this one is offset. It goes to offset. It's just going to animate the texture. So I'm going to show you how to animate the texture. Could not be easier. It's a really powerful thing. You can do all kinds of stuff by animating the texture. And this is just moving the offset. But notice that it's just looping there, right? It's not going back to idle. And so I've just set it up so that it has a return one, which is going to stay on that clip until I hit the letter I. And then when I go hit the letter I, it goes back to the idle situation. And then the same thing for tile. If I hit T for tile, it's going to, the other thing you can do with the things that are easy to do with animating textures is the tiling and offset. Can anybody think of why you might, what you might want to do with that?
You could make the sky move.
You can make the sky move. Yeah, for sure. Yep. You can make the sky move. You can make clouds move. It's good for like waterfalls, certain water effects, other things. So it's a really, really powerful, useful thing to do. And so then if I hit idle and goes back. So there's one that I want to show you that is sort of intentionally broken. If I hit the yes for Y for yes, it gets there. And you see what's happening? Watch up in the animator. And the reason for that is you can see over here on the parameters that that's got a square box and the other ones have a round box. The square box is a Boolean, right? And sometimes you want to use a Boolean and sometimes you want to use a trigger. The thing about a trigger is that a trigger, once, now I can just turn this off. If I use a trigger, right, when I'm creating a parameter, oops. When I'm creating a parameter, I get to use a Boolean trigger. You can use whatever you want. But if I use a Boolean, then you're responsible for resetting that Boolean in your own code. Right? Is that clear? What that means is, so, you know, and it's pretty easy to do. I could do it this way. I could just come down here and I can say, all right, in my my yes animator, I'll go find it in my animation window, and I go to yes. I could just, you know, here's my yes animation. I could just put maybe somewhere in here, I could grab this and create a function. And the function says, you know, the function will run your code and your code will reset the Boolean. And sometimes in your code, you're going to want to do it that way. Oftentimes for this kind of thing, you just want to use a trigger. A trigger will automatically get reset. It resets after one frame. But interestingly enough, it resets after one frame, but if you're in here and it's running this, once it gets triggered, it won't reset until after it's executed that parameter and that transition. Okay, so it kind of does just what you want it to do. Any questions on that?
So if you have a trigger and then you check the trigger, it's gonna set it to true, which is gonna make it run the other animation which you want it to run. But it's not gonna go back or with unless it's a Boolean. Or
yeah, so what it means is that this value is going to automatically go back. So you'll notice that if I hit the letter, here, let me just show you. This is why I show you guys this, because it's a little bit hard to wrap your head around the first couple of times you're doing it. But if I hit, say, offset, yeah, you don't even see it. What happens is it's setting that trigger, right? It's setting that trigger, and then it will come down to here because that's what this has been set to do. It's been set to offset. When this is the trigger that's going to do that. But then it automatically sets the trigger back to 0 or undoes the trigger until it gets invoked again. If that makes any sense.
what if we go to, let's say, the no animation from the offset? Is it the other?
From here to go back?
Yeah.
Right. So to go back, it has it's expecting the idle trigger. So if I hit I for the idle trigger, oh, I don't have the focus. I do that all the time.
So what if you're going to offset and then you press, let's say, N for no, it won't go there, right? Because there's information.
Right. Exactly. Now, these state machines can get very, very complex. So this is a fairly simple one. And, this is an introductory class. This should get you everywhere where you want to go. If you're interested in this stuff, it'd be a good know-how. Other students have gone much deeper in this. There's a lot more. You can have certain logic nodes and things like that. You can do a lot more complex things if you want to. But as a simple state machine, there's an amazing amount of stuff that you can do. So let me walk you through. I'd like everybody to do this because it's a little tricky. And if you do it once, you understand that you might not remember exactly, but you'll know how it generally works. I think I need to create a new. Yeah, so let me just show you how this works, okay? So if you click on Dawn Blend Shape and you open it up, you'll see that the model's a little wonky. I made this in Blender for a project about 15 years ago. So it's gotten a lot of use and abuse over the years, but has been reformatted many times. But the way it was authored was it has a animation in it, and the animation will always come in as take 001. And so you need to split it up into yes and no, or whatever you want. So in this, I'm just going to do it from scratch. And so I'm going to say, and this is just sort of the process, and everybody should do this. I think this would be good. You click on plus, and I'm going to say yes. Hold on. I'm going to call it yes to. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to create another one, and I'm going to call it no to. So now what I'm doing is I'm saying I'm going to create 2 new clips. And just the clips are just like what you'd see over here. They're just like the clips that you would see in the animation window. So these I'm creating 2 new clips. No, yes to, and no to. And this interface is just a little bit wonky. You can see it in here, what you're doing. But typically what you do is when you create your animations, you'll create one giant animation in Maya. And it might have all these different animation subclips. It might have turning my head, picking up a glass, walking over there, whatever it is that it's doing. It might be hopping, whatever your animation is, you've animated it in Maya, and all right, this animation starts on frame 0, or frame 1, and it ends on frame 265, and then the next one starts, you just write it down in a spreadsheet or something, you know it. But if you don't know it, you can always come down here and you can look at your model. I can play it. This one has yes and no. Is there a TA here that can help? He wants some help. He needs some help. Yeah, raise your hand if anything's not working for you. But I do want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say, which is a little bit of a problem. The other thing you might need to do when you bring it in the model, you want to set the convert units. You want to turn that off and hit apply like we always do. And then up here, you click on the animation tab and it brings up the animation. All right, so when you select on it in your project, you have these opportunities to modify stuff. You can see your materials, you can see your rig, your model, and your animation. All right, so I need to push on a little bit. So this is where it gets a little bit strange. I select my yes to, and I know if I move these, and sometimes this is what's hard to actually grab. If I grab this, you can see the head change. It should have a playhead, I think, for the interface. You can see it going yes, 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 yes. So I happen to know I can come up here and I can say, all right, well, where does that animation end? Well, I happen to know that it's at frame 60. So it's 1 to frame 60. So I can just type that in, 1 to frame 60. And that'll be the yes clip, right? Then I click on the no clip and same thing, no 2. It's the same thing. Now I can just, I can go like this and I can move this around. I grab this guy and you just find the section of your big clip, find the sub clip in it. And I happen to know this one is at 61 and ends in 120. So now I have those 2 clips. And you hit apply. And you will have up here, you'll have, yes, 2. You'll have your clip. So now I can just drag and drop this into here. And I can then use it. Where's this? Hold on. What's that?
Right? Then the drag is the yes take and the no take.
Yeah, so you have to find the clip. So this is the clip. But you'll notice that I can't actually edit it, right? Do you see how I can't edit this clip? It's all grayed out. And if I hit edit, I can change it down here. The easiest way to do this, there's multiple ways of doing this. Easiest way is to just take your clip like this and hit Control D. Now I have the clip and I own it. I can do whatever I want with it. All right. And then I can delete the other one. So I don't want this one because I can't edit that one. I want, which means I can come in here and I can change the keyframes. I have access to all of the keys. Okay. Yes. I duplicated it. So wasn't everybody and a no, and then bring it into your state machine, create a state machine. You want to put it on the Dawn blend and you want to create a state machine, and then you want to set up a transition. And for the transitions, you want to create a couple of parameters. Use the trigger ones for this just to keep it simple. Set your trigger to yes and no. And then you remember this. So let's look at the offset one. So remember, if this is set too low, and if it has, exit time, right? Remember, it has exit time, and then this blending here. Does everybody remember that? Yep. So in this case now, when I run it, and I hit O, it won't transition until it's done, right? Because I turned off, it has exit time now. So watch, so when I hit O now, it waits until that finishes. It has exit time. But then also notice that the head just snaps. So to avoid the snapping, I can just make this wider, right? This is the blend. So now when I hit O, hold on. I want to turn off has exit time. So now when I hit O, it'll go right to it. And it has a smoother transition from one clip to the other. All right, so I want everybody to do that. If you've already done that, have you already done that? No? Okay. You look like you've already done it.
Yeah, change that.
Yeah. And then also, I do have any going back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I also, this figure I have that we.
Diana pointed out an interesting problem.
When I clear. This area, is.
Hold it up, right? Then you can push it up.
I go like this to block.
An animator of that 350, yes. Yeah, it'll be.
I think it's just the sequencing and how you do it. That you'd already instantiated the model. So I think you have to do this before you instantiate the model. So if everybody else is seeing this problem, like if you open up, you go to open this up and it can't find these, it can't find these bones. They're yellow.
I see one reference.
I do have a tip.
Never mind. It doesn't give us.
It's the end. It's the end of the, you take CS22, you'll know what that is. It's the end of the bone.
I look for where are the clips from.
I was thinking plus.
Okay.
And like, yes.
So, we're not afraid and over here for us. Yes. Okay.
And I'm having a hard time replicating your problem.
Of the information. Yeah. And then instantiate that and add rows. Yeah. So I don't know full details on why it works, but it works.
But I just added it to the one that was already instantiated and it works fine. Yours, when you had your clips were somehow, when you created your clips, they were created inside the prefab. That's what the problem was. It was in the hierarchy.
Oh.
And they're not supposed to be. So I'm not sure how that happened. I'll think more about it. If I think about it, I've seen it many times. I'm just not sure exactly why it did that. When I go to
Ball, not that, and we would like to control the phase that when we are click the keyboard and we wanted to do the yes animation. One thing we let and we want to do no animation. But this is included by the example. So for doing that, we have to have three stages of the transition. The first state is the default state. So by default, the phase should be in the idle state. It's just doing nothing, or it's just it's basically static. So the first thing we will need to raise the idle state. So we will say the in follow here, and we enter the animation layout and split. So idle state. And so
Yes.
so we need everybody animation lists. So when I go to the animation of this specific animation, you can find a place that will be like looking good for.
Yes, it's good. The items on this side.
Like you get.
You talked about.
From those that
That makes sense. Yeah.
it is basically it's moving. Yeah, it's moving. Yeah, okay. Good. Just select the face. Yeah, that would be good. Right now it's
Does anybody have this done?
other as the.
You just want the yes to that, right?
Yep. All right. So if you have the yes and the no, and you were sitting around waiting, just try doing the offset and the tile. So in the offset and the tile, it should be pretty straightforward to you. You select on the object, you create a new clip. I'm just going to call it demo. So then the same way you've been working for a long time now, you add that material to it.
When we like play the animator, we're in the state.
So in this case, I have to select the Dawn mesh. So can I have everybody's attention just for 1 second? I'll be really quick. In case you want to move on after you've done this part, this is how you do the animation on the texture. So if you come down here to the Dawn mesh that has the material on it, you open up the material and you turn this on, and it's these guys right here. You have tiling X, right? You increase that, you get pinstripes. So 1 is what you expect. You can also tile in Y, which won't do anything for this one. And then you have offset X, right? Offset X, and you can animate that. So you can move the texture across it. And then you just create keyframes just like as you would with anything else. And I can show you what I did for the offset one. So this is my offset. Oh, that's true for almost everything here in Unity. If you click on you mouse over the word, the name, you'll see it left and right. You can just go left and right to scrub the values. Good question. So to do what I did before, you'll notice that if you have yours animating, in order to get it so that it animates like the way this one does, right? So in order to get this to animate the way it is right now, right across the face, it keeps going. I had to take it starts by default having an ease in, ease out. But if I go into curves, I can switch it to be linear. And since it starts at the same value as it ends at, or it's off by, it goes from 0 to -1, back to 0 to -1. So -1 looks exactly the same as 0. So even though there's a discontinuity in the curve, there's not much of a discontinuity in the motion. Does that make sense?
Do you want a yes or no?
If you can get the yes and no and you're done, and we're just gonna have a few more minutes, because I really want to give you guys time to work on your sprint too. But I don't want you to sit there idling. If you're sitting there with nothing to do, then do the textures. Chase, I'm pretty sure you know how to do this, right? What I'm doing right now, I'm pretty sure that you could just do this whenever you want. Maybe, okay. Once you get the notion down that you create an animation clip, you turn on the record button, and then you just start changing things. You create keyframes for those things that you're changing. Once you kind of get used to that, you can animate anything. You can change the color. I can interpolate the material from this to something else. You can turn things on and off, which is kind of crazy. Right? If I had, if I had a hierarchy, I had a parent and I had all these other children, the animation of the parent can turn the children on and on, on and off, on and off, on and off. And parents will pay a lot of money for that in real life.
Okay. And then the door goes for one.
Yep.
Turn in the milestone one tonight. It didn't realize it was to obtain those. I also had a test, right?
How'd you do?
Honestly, it's not great.
Okay.
I was like, it wasn't hard, but it was like, I'm gonna be very methodical with this. And I spent way too long on questions. I got pretty rushed and panicky.
What year are you?
28. So shouldn't have done that.
Well,
I know better.
you should know better. It's only one test. Don't worry about it.
No, the lowest.
It's in the second week.
The lowest quiz grade gets dropped.
I
But
think
like they're gonna get it way off. So like
you'd like to bank that one for later.
I would have, yeah. I would have.
That's funny. All right, so here's my state machine.
So let's do some integration.
I can freeze.
All right, so now I have this model that I can just play. Yes. Why is that not working? Oh, I know why. Oh, I didn't show you the code. So this code is just very simple. You can download it. I have it there. All this does is is this sets here that this is a singleton. If you guys have watched if you watch the video on coding, the basics one for developers, you should know what this does. This is a singleton. I've created this keyboard input manager, and this is just defensive programming, so that if I ever added this script to another game object, it would manage it. It would destroy this object. So you can only have one of them, and that's what that does. And then for this, you're just setting. I wanted to show you that you can set a bool this way. You set bool yes true, or you can or you can just use it as a set trigger.
So easy.
I know, it's beautiful, right? Everything is so well thought out. Although this is the older input. So with Unity 6, as you discovered, is expecting the new input. So I have to figure out how this changes, but it's probably a minor change.
I took a very cursory look, like about 0.5 seconds to be like, and I was like, that looks harder. So I just did this.
Yeah, I think it is a little harder. Yeah. Tiling continuously. No. So what I'm not sure exactly what you mean. In other words, the number of the tiles.
What's the tile while you're
Well, while you're doing something else, that's a great question. Really good question. You actually can't do that because you're saying, I want to have two states active at the same time. You can't do that. It's a state machine. One state is active at a time. But that's one of the cases where then you can put the animator on another level. Yeah. You can have, if you want to just have that going on all the time. So that's one of the things, like, you have to kind of think about what you want the animation to do and what kind of controls you want, and you have to design it to get the effect that you want. But that's a really good question. And who knows, there might be a way to do something that has two nodes going simultaneously. I've never done that. There may be a way. That's probably something you would be more likely to put on is the offset. Have the offset just keep looping, and it's just moving that line forever and ever. And so you would drop that down to the child.
Whether these specific key is on the track, then we will always stack the animator trigger, animator dot I think so that we have the document doing that thing.
Yeah, you think that it goes back after the actual.
What's the difference between capital T transform and lowercase I transform?
I want to go. Yes.
Sometimes it has to be capital, sometimes it has to be lowercase. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head what the difference is.
To control the animation, we need to have a reference.
I think the lower transform
So the animator
is a reference to the transform in the component, and capital might just be.
The class of the transform.
Yeah.
Reference.
Yeah, you have to, you want that, you have to go
find it as another object. This is a state of revival. This is a code to get the input of the solution keyboard. Like for now, we were like look at like and
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't used it either, but there are cases, like I said, I think I have a guess, but when these things get really, really complicated, you might need to do like clean things up before you exit, before the animation completely exits. But
sign the value to it.
I know that you can,
Yes.
well, I guess maybe it's just if you just want the animation to not do anything,
So by doing that, it will try to find out.
right? If you just want to end the animation, let's look into it.
In this object, it has the face controller. So the face controller will try to get the ender under the single object. So it will eventually get the face center. If we get down, if the end is pressed, we would like to control the ender. So we will do it. Stop. Set trigger.
I-
Hannah and I were gonna Discord call to integrate since my stuff's upstairs. Is that okay? Maybe she'll be here.
Okay,
Not in the future. I'll get
okay,
cloud
yeah, it's
control.
best to be elbow to elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Well, it's an interesting experiment. I just hooked up the exit node. And when this finishes, it goes to exit, but then it immediately goes back to entry. Looks like you can use it if you have nested state machines. If you have a sub-state machine inside a state machine, then it's useful for that. But for everything that we do in this class, you don't really need to make your stuff that complicated, but
When it's like scan, so in trigger, yes, so So. Right now it's doing kind of, yes, so. I mean, you can't do exactly the same place for. Thank you so much.
Cameron, you have a recording that you did. That's doesn't have your name on it.
How does my name on it?
It's in the portfolio, week 2 portfolio. Just needs to be renamed.
The,
No,
milestone or the.
no, it's in the week 2 portfolio, screen recording.
Fast.
This one.
Oh, okay. This was the. Yeah, that's.
I don't hear it for some reason.
Is that in the week 1 portfolio or week 2?
Week 2.
I think I uploaded 2. My first one didn't have sound. Yeah, there's a second one in there.
So do you want to just delete the other one? Okay, it's 3:30. Everybody, the rest of the class, work on sprint 1. I don't really want you to be stuck having to do it all as homework, but if you have a little bit between now and tomorrow, polishing it up, that's great, but see if you can finish it in class today. Nice work, everybody, on the animation stuff. I know that can be a little bit tricky and a little bit strange. That's why we do it in week 2. Similarly, people have trouble with getting the good rendering and the materials and all that. We're going to do that next week.
Question. Can you reset the order of the?
Yeah. But it's still, it then moved the empty to the middle.
Yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So there's another way to do what you want. Like, explain to me why do you want to do it this way? What are you trying to do?
Well, I'm trying to make it so that actually I shouldn't be inputting this right now. I'm trying to make it so that like when the cube is floating, it has a ray that goes down and it shows you where it's gonna fall. So I'm gonna make a really thin cylinder, give it a nice material, have it set active, and go to the cube that you're making up. And we'll go and set active. And then follow, right?
Yeah, so you want to use there's other ways to do what you're trying to do. But this is how you learn it. You just try making stuff with what you've learned, and you'll get better and better at it. But what you probably want to do is use a line renderer. Yeah, I go over that a little bit next week, and then we do more of that the week after. It's a really, really useful thing. It's not too complicated to set up.
Looking at that. Yes, I think that this is for the two, like, then all with just like, so then it'll be like inside the cube. You can see the condition minus like half, but like.
I like the way you're thinking. That's the kind of thinking that gets you to be really, really good at this. Like Axel. I mean, you just puzzle stuff out and figure out what are some ways to do things and challenge yourself with some interesting things that are tricky, and just try doing stuff.
Were you talking about the line renderer? I use that for my fishing rod.
You did. Nice.
Yeah, the thing is really cool.
Do you want to share it with us?
It might be in the in my screen recording for my
Milestone 1?
yeah.
So on these ones too, you also want to have your name on these.
Okay.
Which one?
For the second one, the bottom. What?
This one?
Yeah. It looks a little bit like janky, but
It's milestone 1. This is great. Awesome. Great job.
thank you.
It's pretty good.
That's fantastic. Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Why isn't like white?
I put a material on him and it was found in my translucent.
Okay, wait, what is that like thing that you?
He's using the line renderer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we'll use that. We'll use that for some other stuff later, but the line render is really useful. I think we talk about that next week. I think that's on the docket for next week. I love the line render. Very, very flexible.
I'm on it.
Hold on. Is this music all right? Yes or no?
That, like,
You wanna see this?
something
It's making AI. Tom told me about it.
I wanted.
It makes a model based on prompt. And it can bring it in animate. Yeah, that's what we're on the animation and let's go. I just don't want you to roll out too heavy.
Yeah.
Then your portfolio is just like all that. I think it's wrong because people tell them I don't even need something.
Okay.
And just you get first of
Yeah.
there's $50 to $40 plan, with a $15 plan is constantly.
So you guys, I just want to say this.
It's like
In the syllabus, folks, you were asking about this. So it's in the syllabus under the XR1 Unity Basics. There's this pack, DXR environment pack. You might want to just take a look at that. There's all kinds of stuff. There's rocks and trees, and there's all kinds of stuff in there that might be useful for you. If the materials come up as pink, like, magenta, you just have to go to the material and you have to change it from, it's probably standard shader graph. You have to change it to universal render pipeline. Simple fix, but use any of that stuff. You can also use anything that you made in CS22.
yeah, that's great.
You made something in CS22, you can bring that in and you can use that. I just didn't want to discourage you from doing all that all the time, because then your portfolio just starts to look the same, right? You want to push yourself to do new things.
I'm going to animate. You can do it. Well, we can animate it coming again and then flying up, and then I'll turn away from the code.
Actually,
As you go, it's the download.
Jazz is becoming more and more.
Okay, that's good.
and
Yeah. I'm not gonna stay up late, but I also.
Shake it. Who is your partner?
Milestone what? Let's do it.
Who? Shell. Okay. Are you guys working together?
SP can meet till 6:30, then 6:30 to 7, I'm gonna do it. Like 7 or 8.
I think this music's a little stress inducing.
This, please don't. Are you playing this? I don't love this.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Lord of the Rings study music.
That's your jam.
No, Lord of the Rings study music. Trust. So I'm putting the fly. The cube prevent? Absolutely. Huh? Absolutely, let's do it. Alright. Oh. That was stress inducing.
Sorry. That's what I listen to when I work.
Felt like I was taking a test.
This is gonna put me to sleep though.
Should we try Minecraft music?
What?
Should we try Minecraft music after this?
Minecraft?
The nostalgic one.
Yeah, sure, let's do that.
That's the
Alright.
that hits every second. This literally makes me feel like I'm gonna get executed or something. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Like I'm just walking off.
You don't want to get executed?
Yeah, I actually prefer being alive, you know.
Oh,
I like meditating I'm walking, not like
This is Minecraft. It's so sleepy.
It is calm.
I want you guys to work faster.
Oh,
This is what you listen to when you're done your work. I like the album cover though. Cover art's nice. Yeah.
nice, everything will be okay in Minecraft. I'm studying this.
Like,
Well,
It's a little more up tempo. That's not bad, yeah. That's good work music. I feel like coding.
this is like what is that?
How's that?
what is the mission back?
Well, that's what we're gonna do next week. Emit photon.
Yes.
what if we could get like a mouse? But I also don't have a USB port, like for my laptop, you know.
Can you get one? We'll order some.
You know,
Try
like
this mouse.
USB to USB.
Try this. I'm not sure this mouse works, but test it. You need a. You
I
need.
don't have a USB
You,
port.
I know you need a little
Yeah.
thing. Costs like 25 cents. I don't know how that. You get lost all the time. That's all. I don't know how much.
Or you can just buy the USB mouse.
You should buy a 3-button mouse.
I will.
Just do that.
Thank you.
They're not expensive. And I know you. You're serious about this stuff. So you can have.
Yeah.
I think they're a little more than that.
That's my after.
It's a skill to figure out the right amount of geometry. Not too much. Not too
But
little.
it's on like the parts.
What's that?
On like the parts, not that. We'll do fine.
My S transform trans from like I never should this. Yeah, push where to the far left. Because water is not dry. This is like so far away. Yeah, I don't know. I think right there. So got an error and say it again. Yeah, I said, the French out this one is yeah. Speaking of this, I don't find like what I like to Oh, I'm sorry though.
Was everybody working on sprint one? You ready to record it? That's on recording button? Yes. Can we start with the film? Can I join?
What should it be? Yeah, my first one was something.
There's an audio?
I just started working on the portal. I started working on the portal.
Like, what, you wanna like learn how to do like the Instagram?
That's about communication. Yeah. I'll do that.
So, just like any other, like, just, right, so I try to show you the method that always works for every problem. Remember what it is? Let's start from scratch. Turn that on.
Can we get other things? Wait, why is that different color?
Yeah.
Can we like make more blue parts on some of them? And also, that material design it's yeah, I just put it on. You know, like it's
I'm just going to show you what kind of clips on. Now you put out here for signing stuff. That's what you say. Just go down and this is God. That's it. So now you have the tile unit offset. Now you just tell you what that is. You guys understand? In that process, well, actually, there was something to do. I'm not just doing it. Sometimes that's very they want to change it. Well, almost on that, this is the way to do it. It's going to set it up. So you want to switch to working on sprint one. So let's come back to this. The weekly portfolio will be open for Tuesday. Now until Tuesday before the animation showing you on today. On sprint one? Okay.
Because what like we need to pick up some.
So do you need to?
Pick up some.
What about it?
Things to be popular. So we need to.
You need to. Right, we have to, we have to figure it out. So these are all the things that have to be covered. Watching the videos, you watch all the videos?
Yes.
So you put a trigger volume, something. Character gets close to it. Trigger some code. That code is out. Simple, not a super huge outside. Things we can't do that. So this one is close there. That's how you select it. Have it. Go get out. make it disappear, or if you feel a target doing something, up to you. So try to think creatively. You know how to do already. How can I do something that's similar? So they can- Sure. Memo? I am pronouncing your name right, right? Memo? Okay. I don't know why I thought it was Memo.
It's like, Monday birthdays.
Okay. But you say it is Memo. And Ty, it's Memo. Okay. I'll use Memo. Um,
Send out. It says this. Yeah, you get the memo, but it's pronounced the same.
very funny. Okay, so you guys take a look at this. Song and Memo have they've already finished their sprint one. They're building a portal. Nice. Awesome. That's perfect. It's really well scoped. It's great. Um, so there's a lot of different ways that you can do picking up. Right, you can do it so like if the character bumps into something, it all of a sudden gets picked up. But you can also do it the same way that we did a button. You know, you did a button, you shoot a ray into the world. You click on something on the screen, and it's a button. And so then the button runs your code, and your code says, "I now control this." And in this case, it just parented it to the character. But you can do whatever you want. You can make it disappear and just add it to a database, and you can just make it hide it. It's up to you how you write your code, how you want to do that. So you want to talk to your designer. The coders want to talk to the designers and come up with a plan for how you want to do it. Okay? Any questions? So it's 4 o'clock. We have a few more minutes, but one thing I want to just walk you guys through. You don't have to do anything, but I want you to watch, especially the CS23 people or anybody else, anybody that's interested in doing design work. I want to just reiterate something that's really important, okay? This will just take me 3 minutes, I hope. You ready? So I just want to walk through the process of building assets. We're going to use this asset next week for some fun. But so it's just a simple shape, but there's a couple things, okay? I'm going to come around and look at your models, and I'm always, 100% of the time, I want to see the scale figure, okay? Always. No excuses. Always a scale figure. Always build to scale, right? So there's always a scale figure. What is a scale figure? It's as simple as this. This is just a cube that is 2 meters high, so it's a little taller than the average person, and it's 0.2 by 0.2 by 2, and so that just gives me a rough sense of how big this thing is, right? And then your export, if you follow the instructions that are in the video, your scale will match so that 1 unit in Unity and in Maya, 1 unit in Maya will equal 1 unit in Unity. All right, and that's what you want, 1 to 1. It keeps it really simple. And then the other thing is this: you want to think about your object. In this case, I chose this as an example. This object has 2 materials on it, and you just basically do that by selecting faces and I decided that these ones here are going to have 1 material, and these are the only ones I care about. I'm going to put an image on these, and the others are going to be solid color. So I don't have to worry too much about I don't have to worry at all about the UV unwrapping on the outside, but I want to think hard about how to unwrap this inside. So what I did was I figured out where these, which of these edges are sewn and which of these ones have cuts. And then I unwrapped it. So you'll notice that if you look inside here, this is a seamless edge. There's a cut here, but there's the same resolution. There's nothing smeared, right? And then this one is also seamless. So I have 2 seamless corners and 2 with seams, right? So I thought hard about how do I want to UV unwrap this? It's part of this thing. You have to really think hard about how to do these things. And so then if you want to look at it, I laid them out like this. So these are the ones that I don't care about. So I just ignore those. They don't matter. But for the faces that I'm dealing with, they don't overlap. I know where they are. They're right in the middle. This is one corner and this is the other corner. And then once you have it set up, it's always the same. Then you want to freeze transformations, delete history, and then you want to export to Unity. And so you should have already set up your Unity project, right? You should all know how to do this. This is all in that thing. All the CS23 people should be really good at doing this. This should be like you don't even think about it. And then you export the selection. And when you export the selection, you give it a name. But in here, you don't want to change anything. You want to make sure, you might want to double check. If you go down to advanced options, there's units. You want to have this set to scale factors 1 and automatic. That's what the default is, so just don't change it. You should be good to go. You may have to decide if there's animations or not. If there's animations, you have to turn that on. If there isn't, you can turn it off. Same thing with blend shapes. If you have blend shapes, that has to be on. So then you export it, and it will pop up into Unity. And then when it's in Unity, and this is the last step, okay? Once you have it in Unity, in your model, you'll open up walls, you go to model, and you have to uncheck this. So this is going to be checked like that. You want to uncheck convert units, the scale factor set to 1, and you want to turn that off, and you want to hit apply. And then once you've done that, you'll notice that this one, I have 2 materials. It has the inside and the outside, 2 different materials. I could change the materials here, it doesn't really matter, or I can just drop it into here. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you, sorry. Doing way over there. The other thing I wanted to show you is this. You want to set the pivot point. So I set the pivot point to be at the bottom. You often want to set the pivot point to be at the bottom. Sometimes you want it to be centered, but usually it's at the bottom. So I set the pivot point before I do the freeze transformations and delete history. Right. So then when I export it, so those are the things you're doing all the time. So now when I just drop it into here, it'll snap to the floor, right? And if I want to move it around, I can move it around and it's connected to the floor. And next week we're going to put materials on it. So I know that if I select this object and it has two materials, right? Walls outside and walls inside. Does everybody know how to do that in Maya? All the 22 people? You know how to create two materials, right? On an object. Okay, great. And so then I can just set this up. So the outside, I'm just going to set this to a color. And then on the inside, I'm going to put an image on it. Actually, why don't we do that right now? Oh, I know what I can do. I can give it actually a material. It's even better. And now we have stones on the inside. And so for the outside, I can just, walls outside. I can just set this color. Now, oftentimes what you want to do is use this selector and you find something in your environment, and you can set it to something that sort of looks like it fits in well with the environment. And we're going to do materials and stuff next week, but we're going to use this do some fun stuff with it. Okay. So I just wanted to show you, I want to make sure, does everybody feel like, oh yeah, I totally know how to do that. That's what I've been doing it 100 times. I've got it down. Yes. Thumbs up. No, from Maya, this is for 23 students mostly, but you guys should know it too. From Maya to Unity, that whole process, getting everything in scale, getting everything to work properly, right? Okay. I just wanted to double check. Okay, good. I'm glad you asked. Because it's a really common thing and if you don't know, if you don't remember. So let me do it from scratch. So let's say I do this. I have this, oops. This is a new version of Maya. I don't have this set up the way I like it, but. So let's say I have this and I want to give it two different materials. So what I do is I would go to, say, face and select all. So I select all the faces and I right click and I say assign new material. And so for us, probably the best one to do, it doesn't really matter too much, but I think a good one to use for this is Maya Blend. So you set it to, no, you're not doing your materials. This is really important for everybody. Don't do any material work besides assigning in Maya. None, zero. Not yet, not for right now. I want you to learn how to do it the manual way first. So this is just saying what faces get what material. So I can just say, this is going to be Maya Blend. So the whole thing is set to Maya Blend, right? But now if I come up here and I say, I'm going to select just these faces, right? So it's not selecting the top and bottom. And then I right click and I say, assign new material, standard Maya Blend. Now I want to come back to the object mode. I have, I should have, I have two, I have Maya Blend one, I have multiple materials on it.
Select Faces and assign different.
Sign different, exactly. Select the faces and use this method of signing the new material. And then you do all the other stuff. And when I export it, for some reason, it didn't get both materials. It's not much of a demo if it doesn't show. I must have missed something. All right, so let's just, yeah, somehow it
I say, all right, I wanna get the component line. With material. This keeps not finding this. I go into this material and I'm like, I want to look at it. Is it like, is that how you find it? I haven't hundred something deal with manual inspector. Okay, I'm going to do this. Wait, then how do you put in the line record if you do it in the inspector? You can add a component. Oh, okay. I don't think they even. I see need to be there. This was some. I was asking Chad to help me figure out how to design that first. Kind of. So set it all this stuff. If I do. No, no.
really weird. I've done this literally 10,000 times and all of a sudden now when I'm trying to demo it live, it's not working. I have no idea why not. I'll have to come back and I'll look into that. Sorry about that. Actually, you should try it. See if it works for you because like I said, I've done it a million times and I just did it the other day to do that box, but
So now, then this color. Turn that off. Here. This. That's over there. I mean, I don't have a project platform. Now it's in the computer.
let's see. Ordinarily, when you do it the way I just showed you how to do it, you'll end up if you're in the hypershade, you'll see it. It'll look like this. You'll have two materials with that one object selected. You select this object, and you hit this button, and it will show you that it has both of those objects on it, on both those materials on it. I don't know what's wrong with that. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And I'll get back to you. I'd be curious if you tried it, if it would work.
Then I can go to here. Say, actually, I want this to be more of a.